Behind the imposing walls of Christiansborg Palace, something unprecedented is about to unfold, and it all started with a mysterious 4-day journey that has royal watchers across Europe absolutely buzzing with speculation. King Frederik X of Denmark, the charismatic monarch who captured hearts worldwide when he ascended to the throne just over a year ago, has just made a decision that's sending shockwaves through the centuries-old corridors of Danish royal protocol. Picture this: the magnificent Christiansborg Palace, a fortress of power that houses not just the Danish parliament but also the Supreme Court and the Prime Minister's office, suddenly becomes the epicenter of royal intrigue when King Frederik announces something that hasn't been seen in decades. After returning from what palace sources are calling a transformative 4-day experience with his beloved Queen Mary, the king has decided to host what he's calling a public audience at his royal residence, breaking with tradition in a way that's left even seasoned royal correspondents scratching their heads in amazement. But let's rewind and examine the man behind this extraordinary decision. Frederik X isn't your typical royal figurehead sitting passively on a golden throne. This is a king who, before his accession, was known for his adventurous spirit, participating in daring expeditions to Mongolia, competing in Olympic sailing, and maintaining a connection with ordinary Danish citizens that his predecessors could only dream of achieving. When his mother, the beloved Queen Margrethe II, surprised the nation with her New Year's abdication announcement, Frederik stepped into his role with a refreshing blend of reverence for tradition and an unmistakable desire to modernize the monarchy for the 21st century. The enigmatic 4-day trip that preceded this groundbreaking announcement has palace insiders whispering about intimate conversations between the royal couple, deep discussions about the future of the Danish monarchy, and what sources describe as profound moments of reflection that occurred far from the prying eyes of the media. Queen Mary, the Australian-born consort who has transformed from a marketing executive into one of Europe's most respected royal figures, reportedly played a crucial role in encouraging her husband to take this bold step toward greater accessibility. What makes this public audience so revolutionary is the departure from the traditional weekly private audiences that Danish monarchs have conducted for generations. These private meetings, typically held behind closed doors with carefully selected government officials, dignitaries, and approved citizens, have been the cornerstone of Danish royal protocol since the time of absolute monarchy. The idea that King Frederik would open these intimate governmental discussions to broader public participation represents a seismic shift in how the Danish crown interacts with its subjects. The timing of this announcement couldn't be more significant. Denmark, like many European nations, is grappling with questions about the relevance of monarchy in modern democratic society. Young Danes, particularly those in Copenhagen's vibrant cultural districts, have increasingly questioned whether hereditary privilege has a place in their progressive nation. King Frederik's decision to host public audiences appears to be a direct response to these concerns, offering a transparent window into the workings of constitutional monarchy that few other royal families have dared to provide. Queen Mary's influence on this decision cannot be understated. The former Mary Elizabeth Donaldson, who captured Frederik's heart during the 2000 Sydney Olympics and transformed herself into a royal powerhouse, has consistently championed causes related to social inclusion, mental health awareness, and democratic participation. Royal watchers note that her background as a commoner, combined with her professional experience in marketing and communications, has given her unique insights into public perception that traditional royal advisors might lack. During their mysterious 4-day journey, which took place aboard the royal yacht Danbrog as part of their summer cruise visiting different Danish municipalities, witnesses reported seeing intense conversations between the royal couple during quiet moments between official engagements. Local officials in the municipalities they visited described a king who seemed particularly engaged with citizens' concerns, asking probing questions about democratic participation and expressing genuine interest in how ordinary Danes felt about their government's accessibility. The announcement of the public audience at Christiansborg Palace represents more than just a scheduling change, it's a fundamental reimagining of royal duty in the modern era. Christiansborg itself, rebuilt 3 times after devastating fires, stands as a symbol of Denmark's resilience and democratic evolution. The current palace, completed in 1928, was designed to house multiple branches of government under one roof, symbolizing the interconnected nature of Danish democracy. King Frederik's decision to invite the public into this sacred space for direct dialogue represents a natural evolution of this democratic ideal. Palace sources reveal that the king spent considerable time during the 4-day trip researching historical precedents for increased royal accessibility. He reportedly became particularly interested in the practices of medieval Danish kings who held regular public courts, where any citizen could petition the crown directly for justice or assistance. These historical practices, abandoned centuries ago in favor of more formal governmental structures, appear to have inspired Frederik's modern interpretation of royal accessibility. The logistical challenges of hosting a public audience at Christiansborg Palace are immense. Security protocols must be completely reimagined, as the building regularly houses sensitive government meetings and classified discussions. The royal household staff, accustomed to managing carefully controlled private audiences with predetermined guest lists, now faces the unprecedented challenge of managing potentially hundreds of citizens who might wish to participate in this democratic experiment. Queen Mary's role in supporting this initiative extends beyond mere encouragement. Sources close to the royal household indicate that she has been instrumental in developing the format for these public audiences, drawing on her professional background to create systems that will allow for meaningful citizen engagement while maintaining the dignity and efficiency that royal protocols demand. Her experience in marketing has proven invaluable in understanding how to communicate this change to the Danish public and international observers. The international implications of King Frederik's decision are already being felt across European royal circles. Monarchs from Sweden to Belgium are reportedly watching this Danish experiment with intense interest, as they face similar pressures to justify their roles in increasingly egalitarian societies. If Frederik's public audiences prove successful in strengthening the monarchy's connection with the Danish people, other royal families may feel compelled to adopt similar innovations. The reaction from Danish political parties has been surprisingly positive, with even Republican-leaning politicians acknowledging that increased royal transparency could strengthen Denmark's democratic institutions rather than undermine them. The Danish parliament, which shares Christiansborg Palace with the royal reception rooms, has expressed cautious support for the initiative, provided it doesn't interfere with legislative functions. Opposition voices, however, raise legitimate concerns about the precedent this sets for royal involvement in political discourse. Traditional monarchists worry that public audiences might inadvertently politicize the crown, potentially compromising the political neutrality that has been fundamental to modern constitutional monarchy. These critics argue that the existing system of private audiences, combined with the king's ceremonial roles, already provides adequate channels for citizen engagement. The international media response has been overwhelmingly fascinated, with royal correspondents from around the world requesting access to cover these unprecedented public audiences. The global appetite for royal news, particularly stories that involve genuine innovation rather than mere ceremony, has made King Frederik's announcement a significant international story that extends far beyond Denmark's borders. Queen Mary's personal journey from Australian commoner to pioneering royal consort adds another layer of compelling narrative to this story. Her transformation over the past 2 decades, from a young woman working in advertising agencies to a sophisticated royal figure advocating for democratic innovation, represents one of the most successful royal integrations in modern history. Her influence on King Frederik's thinking appears to reflect her unique perspective as someone who experienced life both outside and inside royal privilege. The 4-day trip that catalyzed this decision involved visits to several Danish municipalities, where the royal couple engaged directly with local citizens, business owners, and community leaders. Witnesses described particularly poignant moments when King Frederik listened intently to concerns about government accessibility and democratic participation. These conversations, occurring in informal settings away from formal state functions, apparently convinced the king that traditional royal protocols were creating unnecessary barriers between the crown and the people. The technical aspects of implementing public audiences at Christiansborg Palace involve coordinating with multiple government departments, security agencies, and palace staff. The building's dual role as both a working government facility and a royal residence creates unique challenges that no other European palace faces. Solutions being developed include designated time slots for public audiences, advanced registration systems, and modified security protocols that maintain safety while allowing broader access. King Frederik's personal motivation for this change appears rooted in his deep understanding of Danish history and democratic traditions. As someone who studied political science and served in the military before his royal duties, he brings an intellectual approach to monarchy that emphasizes service over privilege. His decision to host public audiences reflects this philosophical commitment to making the crown more responsive to citizen needs and concerns. The potential impact on Danish society could be profound. If successful, these public audiences might create a new model for citizen engagement that other democratic institutions could emulate. The opportunity for ordinary Danes to interact directly with their head of state, to voice concerns and receive responses in a public forum, represents a form of democratic participation that few modern societies have attempted. Queen Mary's background as an immigrant to Denmark gives her unique insights into how outsiders perceive Danish institutions and democracy. Her influence on this decision likely reflects her understanding of how the monarchy can better serve Denmark's increasingly diverse population, including immigrants and younger generations who may feel disconnected from traditional royal protocols. The historical significance of this moment cannot be overstated. King Frederik's public audience initiative represents the most significant innovation in Danish royal protocol since the adoption of the current constitution. If these public audiences become a regular feature of the Danish monarchy, they could fundamentally alter how constitutional monarchies operate in the 21st century, potentially influencing royal practices across Europe and beyond. The success of this initiative will largely depend on public participation and the quality of interactions that develop between the king and Danish citizens. Early indications suggest enormous public interest, with palace phone lines reportedly overwhelmed by citizens seeking information about how to participate in these historic public audiences. So what does this groundbreaking decision really mean for the future of monarchy not just in Denmark, but across the world, and could King Frederik's bold move inspire a revolution in how royal families connect with their people in our rapidly changing democratic age?